Stocks at the lows of the day. Bitcoin's also been under a little bit of pressure, so that huge rally that broke away from equities is fading somewhat. Let's bring in Scott Bauer, try to put together some of the pieces here, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Scott, first of all, thanks for the sweatshirt. I wore it last night. It's comfy as hell.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
That's good. You know, we got the cold weather coming in Chicago. So.
That's right. Well, you got it coming out there, too. In Colorado, maybe a little bit worse than we do, but TBD, I guess you can have fun with it out there.
Absolutely. Someone's got to do it, so absolutely.
All right, so the question is, how are you going to pay for the lift tickets this year, Scott? Is it going to be in Bitcoin? Are we going to break out?
You know, this was a fantastic run over the last couple weeks or so. And if you look technically at the charts here, we got right up to that 60,000 number. And there was a gap. There was actually a gap at 60,000 from a few months ago to the downside. So it looks like we filled that gap there. And now it's taking a breather. Now it's taking a rest. And this is, we talk about this all the time, Oliver. This is the pattern of Bitcoin where we see, you know, really violent moves and then a consolidation. And we see a coiling. And then what is the next move here? And I think that's what's happening here. And some of the luster maybe over the last week, some of the exuberance, if you will, from Gary Gensler and the SEC about whether the Bitcoin ETF is actually going to get approved or not. Maybe that's taken off a little bit. But you know what? The whales are still out there. The whales are taking Bitcoin off of the exchanges. And that is a very bullish sign here. So I think we could trade down to 53 or 53.2 would be the next area of support. But Bitcoin is continuing to make higher highs and higher lows.
Okay. So, Scott, last time we spoke and looking at that sideways potential, that's what we've gotten so far. As you mentioned, that things might take a little bit of a breather here. What's the trade-off right now in terms of odds of breakout versus breakdown? You think it's skewed pretty bullish towards breakout?
I really do. I think it is very much so. Now, what is that breakout? Are we going to hit all-time highs? I don't think so.
Frank Capillarli says 72, I think, earlier, maybe 75? 76.
I don't see that in one big move. I could easily see the 63 to 65 number before maybe we do some of that coiling or consolidation again. Again, I think the downside is fairly limited. 53 is really the number where I think there's going to be a lot of support here. But I really do think we could break that out to 62, 65 range.
Okay. Hey, Scott, while we got you, equities are under some pressure here. Bitcoin broke away. Most negative NASDAQ Bitcoin correlation on a 10-day basis going back about 8 months. And equities are slowing down too here. We keep fading these rallies. What's your stock thought? Give me 60 seconds.
60 seconds is people are real scared about earnings. That's the bottom line here. And we'll get them kicked off tomorrow with JP Morgan and then the big banks this week. But people are really scared that everything we're seeing about supply chain disruptions, inflation, higher prices is going to affect the bottom line. I expect top line numbers to be fantastic across the board, but the bottom line numbers is what we have to look for in margin. I think that's what people are looking for. But Oliver, if you look at volatility and look at the VIX is not really predicting any sort of big sell-off here.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Scott Bauer. Always appreciate the update on the big ones, BTC and SPX in this case. Scott joining us from Colorado. He's the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy.